Welcome to the Billiard Network, hosted by yours truly, Rico Diks, and we're going to be watching a top-class women's 9-ball match from, you may have gathered from the title downstairs, the Eurotour in St. Johann, Austria. This is a match between Pia FILLER and Bojana SARAC. Race to 7, we are in the quarterfinals for a place in the medal positions. And that was a good start by Pia. Nice little cut break, made the one in the side. Nice shot on the 2 and a bit of right spin. Should be able to avoid that 3-ball conundrum there and roll straight towards the red 3. Now, the only thing is she needs an angle on that 3-ball to drift over to the right side of the table anywhere almost, near the side pocket for a shot on pink 4. So usually in 9-ball, even though you have like 6, 7, 8, 9 balls on the table, almost playing like 3-ball patterns. That would do just fine, so she didn't apply right spin. I think she even applied a bit of check spin. If she can get this position, then this rack will be all hers. And what a good start that would be, giving no chance to your opponent in the opening rack. Nice, good stroke. Good solid pot, good speed, so it seems Pia is ready. After the green 6 wants to come back about center table for a straight in shot on the 7 will do. Right about where she is now. Might get in that line or a bit of an angle to the right where she was just pointing. Might not come back that far, because as you can see, as soon as she makes the green 6, she's basically got a shot on the 7. So don't get greedy. Don't get greedy. Hello. And that 9-ball is definitely a blocker for that 7-ball. Now what? Players, watchers, fans, what would you do here? Yes, the 7-9 combination is a theoretical possibility. Actually, if she tries it, the 7 might cannon into the right side pocket after hitting the 9-ball. But those pockets are pretty far away from where the balls are now, so accuracy required on both ends. Beauty. Nice. Good save. 1-0 Pia FILLER. Race to 7, remember. It's can be a pretty quick affair. And breaking from the same side. The European new breed of pool talents. Alright, made the corner ball, but only made the 1 past the breaking line. Therefore, only 2 points out of 3 required. So had she made another ball, then that 1 ball would have been sufficient to collect the 3-point rule on the break. As it stands, Pia FILLER is allowed back to the table. She could give this inning back, and then Bojana would still be able to, or allowed to push out. But anyway, none of that's going to happen because Pia's got a thin cut on this 1 ball. Cue ball will drift back to the, well, kind of the exact direction of the center of the table, so she doesn't want to come up too far. Might even apply a bit of left spin to make the white ball not roll to the center, but more towards the blue 2, which is the next one in line. Let me tell you a bit about the history of these two pool players towards this stage where they are now. Quarterfinals of the Eurotour in the classic location of St. Johann in Pongau in Austria, where we've had many men's Eurotours and quite a few ladies Eurotours now. Just watch how Pia is gonna, it looks like she's hitting the one ball full, so might be playing safe. White ball there. That one ball is gonna come right in between the 2 and 8. Maybe not the potting angle, and of course the cue ball on the rail, so tough action either way. But not snookered, and that was the desire of Pia. So both these players are in the seeded section of the half, so they played the first winners round. There was a qualification round before that stage, which these two players didn't have to compete in. And then in the first round, the first winners round, Pia beat Hanan Memic from Bosnia-Herzegovina 7-5. And Bojana actually lost 7-6 against Christina. So straight to the losers round, or the left side of the draw for Bojana. And watch Pia here. No pocket really available. I mean, could bank it in the top right corner pocket. Close. Pretty good hit. No cover found. So, and then Pia was right into the winner's qualification, meaning the match to get into the single elimination stage, which would happen from the best 16 players onwards. And Pia beat Alara Ghaffari 7 racks to 1. So clear win. As Bojana can't find a pocket yet. I mean, hasn't had any easy shots to start with. Sometimes, you know, you get a few chances early on in the match. Sometimes you have to wait or create them. So Pia doing a pretty good job at not giving Bojana easy chances anyway. This one, definitely potable. Cue ball might come off the rail and hit the bottom side of the black ball. That doesn't have to be tragic. Don't know if she's able to avoid hitting that. Okay, so hit it harder. That's a first miss by Pia. Then again, too much of a damage done. Besides to her perfect playing so far. So Bojana, of course, lost to Christina Grimm in the first round, and then had to make her way to throughout the loser section, and she beat Daria Holieva from the Ukraine 7 racks to 4 in losers round number 2. That's pretty handy for Bojana there. Now that 3-9 does offer a combination. Easier cannon actually. Ooh, did she bank that or did she play safe? That looked like an in-betweener. I think she really tried to play safe. That was neither here nor there. So now what? Because of course making the 2 shouldn't be a problem. It's very straight in. So it's going to be hard to get her cue ball maneuvering to the left unless she plays it cushion first with a lot of right spin, and she might spin around that 3-9 situation. The combination needs a very specific position, and if she wants to play the 3-9 cannon, she kind of needs to be in between the orange and black, which is almost impossible to obtain that position from where she is now, or from where the blue ball is. So rail first. Good shot, good speed. Definitely went for the combination position, and well, she almost gave herself a straight in combination, albeit the combination is a pretty thin cut, so literally far from straightforward. So could this be the second combination for Pia to win the first 2 racks of this match? Don't see that often. Taking her time. I mean, this almost a bit too hesitant, a bit too long. Sometimes you stare yourself blind at, so she's taking quite a while. And to be honest, the longer she takes, I think that the less she becomes a favorite to make this, albeit close to the pocket. Okay, so yeah, what does Bojana have? No pot. Safety very difficult as well. I mean, she can hit her 3 ball on the right side, send it into brown, try to get the white up and down the table behind the orange 5, 9 ball, something like that. Or is there a pot available? There might be. I think there is, looking at her queuing down. Oh, there was. And this miss. Did that give her a snooker? I think she's definitely showing her the right side of the 3 from where we're looking, but maybe not enough because she needs to hit it about a third of a ball, half ball to make it. So Pia switching to the jump cue. Cue ball might be venturing over to the 9 ball as well. Either way she hits this. Trying to make the 3. Alright, so second chance at a very long 3 ball for Bojana. Not easy, especially if you haven't seen yourself make any balls in this match you're playing yet. Needs backspin, but that's hard. You need to hit it quite hard because that backspin still needs to be there when it reaches the 3 ball. And of course, the harder you hit it, the unfriendly the jaws become. Ooh, that's what I was talking about. See, had she rolled that at a third of the pace, then the jaws would have probably accepted it. Alright, so rack number 2 proving to be a lot longer affair than the first rack, which Pia broke and ran. Nice position on the 5. So, back to my story of what these players have done before getting to this stage. So Bojana beat Daria Olieva in her first losers round match, and then in the second losers round match she beat Ine Helvik from Norway 7 racks to 2. And then it was time for the winners qualification, and that would mean Pia would be playing, and she played, let me see, Alara Gaffeya, and she beat her 7 racks to 1. Talked about that before. As Pia is in prime position to run out this rack. And then Bojana had one more chance to qualify for the last 16 single elimination stage, and she did so quite convincingly by beating French lady Nathalie Romer. And then they found themselves in the 16 remaining ladies to compete for the Eurotour St. Johann title in 2022. And Pia continued on her convincing winning ways by beating Vânia Franco from Portugal 7 racks to 3, and Bojana, she beat Kristina Zlateva, one of the European top players of recent years. 7 racks to 4, and here we are, quarterfinal time. As Pia drifts her cue ball nicely in line with the 9 ball. Pia Filler taking a 2-0 lead. There's the 7, remember, for a place in the fantastic 4 remaining ladies. All right, let's see. She had a good cut break the first time around. Alternate break this match. Ooh. 1 ball didn't go in and then got thumped in by the 2 ball. But no 2 other balls, or at least not 2, maybe 1, past the breaking line. So the 3-point rule not adhered to. So table control goes over to Bojana. It's not easiest because you kind of want to stun the cue ball where the side pocket is. Nice. I've commentated on a match by Bojana before. Maybe it was against Pia actually in an earlier tournament. And Bojana, when you see her run a rack, she's very calm, very minimal body movement, as in just walking around the table is very tranquil, let's say. Good technique. Both ladies blessed with a well-rehearsed technique. Alright, so 2 decent shots by Bojana to bring herself into prime position. Turn out the remaining 6 balls here. And make her mark on this match. Alright, not ideal. She might have to leave the cue ball just north of the 8 ball and shoot the green in the top right corner pocket. If she wants to play the green in the left side pocket, the 8 ball might be in the way of that pattern. Now if you go in between, nice. Good correction, so a very professional solution there. Got a little bit out of line, but then within 1 shot, or in 1 shot, was able to correct and be back in prime position. That's the sign of a quality player. Sometimes it can all get worse and worse with each shot if you get out of line a little bit. So, not a done deal yet, because he needs to draw the cue ball back off this 7 and off the 8. And this should be fine, but maybe a little bit too much angle if she wants to stay in between the left side pocket and the 9 ball. She might follow her cue ball through and shoot the 9 in the same pocket. Nice. Well, good run out so far. Good corrections. This 9 ball, a little bit elevated with the cue. Not my favorite bridging position, I have to say. Nice. All right, Bojana in the match. 2 racks to 1 and breaking. So she needs a legal break. So the lady's trying to cut the 1 break, cut the 1 ball, and trying to push the red 3 bottom left. Just didn't achieve that. That was it. Besides not making a ball, an illegal break as well. So should Pia not like what she finds herself facing, she could give the table control back, and then Bojana could either play it or push out. As things stand. Yeah, so Pia, if she makes this ball, either the cue ball is gonna, I think it's gonna hit the left side of the red ball, which is not ideal. She would like it to stop where the red ball is. That's not easy to do with that tempo drawback. See, yeah, tough action. Yeah, that needed a quality shot. Because the 1 ball was fairly thin cut as well, so neither of the objectives she was faced with, and making the ball and applying enough backspin, she had to hit that 3 ball full on. That was not an easy task, and here we are. So what would you do? jumping is not an option, because to clear the 6, you need to jump it so hard that the white would go off the table after hitting the 2. So she's kicking at it. Could kick it medium to soft pace to try to find cover between the black or green. Needs a rail though after the hit. Yeah, tough action. Well, pretty good result. Up close and personal to this 2-ball Bojana is. Don't think she can pot it in top right. So wants to bring the cue ball behind the pink orange. Good 2-ball. Not such a good cue ball. Now the 4-ball that's married to the 5-ball does go in the bottom right corner pocket. That is a good safety. Very good. Not easy to hit those balls thin from such a distance as she did on the 2-ball. I think she found cover behind the orange as well as the green, so jump shot. Jump cues out. If you're trying to make this, how are you ever going to get position on the pink 4? Whoa! Real first jump shot, and I think she... I know she definitely meant that. Wow. Shot of the match so far. Albeit not paired with position on the next shot, but... Wow. Now what? So she can kick it off the right rail and kick it out of the bottom right corner 2 rails. Doing so, doesn't have all of the left side of the pink to hit. Needs a rail after. It's achieved. It's a pretty good kick, but we'll still leave Pia a chance to roll this 4 in. In doing so, I think the cue ball will automatically pass the green ball below the green. Position for the orange 5, so. That's a safety if she meant that. No, that's just a bit too thick of a hit. I mean, that was not easy. So, how would you kick it here? Could jump it. She just proved that she's a pretty nifty jumper. So this one, you could even try to make a pink off of 2 rails, hit it thin on the right side and make it in the top left corner. Because if you hit the cue ball bottom, I'd be pretty chuffed with this result. Here, what to do here? I think she can see a bit of the left side. The side pocket or one of the jaws might be hit after hitting the left side of the 4. She might even be better off jumping this and hitting the right side of the pink. Sending the pink up table and the cue ball behind the 9, 6, 5. Yeah, not easy, and I think that might be the way, or even swerve it and try to hit the pink on the right side. And there's less speed involved, so she might not separate the balls. So she's trying to hit the left side, but trying to figure out what she was trying. Either way, Miss SARAC with a shot on the 4. And she's had some tough pots when she's come back to the table. And this one, I don't think she can roll it in because the cue ball might venture awfully close or even in the bottom right corner pocket. And with elevation stun, this becomes about twice as difficult. Okay, so it didn't even go for the pot. That's a pretty good shot. Even if she can see part of that 4 ball between the 6-7 ball gap. By the way, do check out the Billiard Network library. We have a vast array of world-class pool videos in all disciplines. Well, not all disciplines. I don't think we have much one pocket currently, but I think we'll get to that. A lot of 9 ball, 10 ball, 8 ball, straight pool from the Eurotour cycle, from the European Championships, from the Bucharest Open tournaments. Have a little look in our library. We also have a whole section of videos commentated by the true legend of the game, Earl the Pearl Strickland. And I know a lot of people are enjoying his commentary and his views on how the game is supposed to be played. And trust me, he's an excellent commentator, not bringing the heat that he maybe brings to the pool table when he's playing matches. As Pia is leaving the 4-8 combination, not with automatic position attached, but she's got to go for this. So yeah, check out our library in the comment section below. Let us know what you think of this match. Give us your thoughts, and give us your thoughts on who you'd like to see featured. And we'll do our very best, or we'll even send you a message, and we may already feature the player that you're asking to be featured. So 4-8 combination should be very possible, really. The 8 might hug the rail. Okay, not even close, and she's gonna leave Pia a shot, although a hardly maneuverable cue ball, and she needs to get away from being snookered behind the 9 ball. She thinks it's possible. We'll have to stun this 4 ball in, which makes that left jaw of the side pocket a little bit less friendly. She could also roll it in and bring her cue ball out to that area where she's looking now, the gap between the green and the 9 ball, green 6 and the 9 ball. A bit more traveling, and of course she's going away from position first to try to obtain it a few revolutions later, but that might be the way to go in this instance. Nice. Alright, so Pia looking to get back to a 2-game lead. Looking for a 3-1 lead in a race to 7. On the Billiard Network, we're also featuring a lot of women's matches. High quality encounters between young players, veteran players. Pia FILLER is featured quite a few times because she is one of the brightest prospects that Europe has to offer. Constantly in training or in travel with Joshua FILLER, so she's blessed with seeing a lot of pool quality in her daily life. Women's pool in general in the world in the last few years got an almighty push from, among others, Matchroom Sport, when they invited women to play in the Champions League of Pool last year and this year. They invite women to World Pool Masters like Kelly Fisher, and so that's really giving more women big opportunities to play, and that gives good motivation to Europe. Careful, Pia. Still all possible, really. So yeah, big push in women's pool around the world. Predator, organizing a lot of big women's tournaments with very, very decent prize money. And so yeah, it's a good time to be a pool player all around, really. Male or female, junior or senior. It's a great game to play anyway, but these days, more than ever, after the pandemic was suffered, it seems like all the promoters are really stepping up and organizing many tournaments. So Pia Filler this straight in 9 for a 3-1 lead. Good. So on the Billiard Network, as you can see, fast forwarding the racking times, the long thinking times to give you pure playing time. So nice, 1 ball made. And this is kind of the break she had on her first rack, remember? When she almost had an identical 2-ball. I think the 2 balls racked always at the bottom of the rack, lowest. So you could almost predict, almost at that speed, quite soft cut break, just a very good hit, good spin on the cue ball. You can almost predict where the 2-ball is going to be if you make the 1. And it's kind of identical as the first rack, isn't it? She needs an angle again on the second ball in the rotation order, this being now the 4-ball. She needs to get back to the orange 5. Straight in won't do. Let's first make the 2-ball. So both women will be, doesn't matter what the reason is, both women shown a few errors, and after the break and run in the first rack, it's fair to say that the level has dipped a little bit in all kinds of areas, the break, the safeties, the potting. But you can only try as hard as you can in your next inning. And that is not going to please Bojana. Right, so Pia, to be honest, not getting to deal with a lot of resistance from Bojana. I mean, Bojana is not making legal breaks, so her break is not a weapon where she can break and run out without letting Pia to the table. In this situation, again, angle needs to be created either way. That's good. So that 20 to 40 degree angle is usually what pool players keep on their current object balls if the next ball in line is not in line with the one they're shooting. So she has a very doable 4-ball, but can easily maneuver the cue ball in any direction, really. Right. Good line of the cue ball. She can roll this in and shoot the brown 7. Right side pocket. Wants to make sure she's got a tiny angle that she stays below straight in on that brown 7. She's looking to spin the cue ball around across the center of table to shoot the 7 in the same pocket as she wishes to shoot the orange in. Not sure, see, because if she would roll the 5 in, she would always have a shot on the 7 in various pockets. That's a good shot there. For going on kind of free position, if you think you can get a better position elsewhere, usually needs a bit of quality, and that's what she brought here. So, wants to cross the center of table, and from there on, anywhere will do, really. As long as she keeps a bit of an angle to maneuver her cue ball from the 8 to the 9, since they are not near each other or in line with each other. It'd be really interesting to see. I mean, the European players, as well as the American players, have been playing I've been playing quite a few tournaments again since the pandemic ended about a year and a half ago. We haven't really seen the Europeans and Americans compete against the cream of the crop of Asia, male or female, to be honest. We've seen the Koh brothers venture over to play the World Pool Masters, the UK Open, the Bucharest Open, but not really the full force of Asian pool, male or female, and I would love to see how the European ladies match up against the top of the Asian players. Alright, Pia Filler leading 4-1. So that's the thing about pool, both players have made a few mistakes. You just gotta face forward, really not being able to do anything on the break. Au contraire, she's actually now going from a dry break to a foul break. So first things first, she would love to be fairly straight on the 3-8 combination. Of course, doesn't want to snooker herself behind the green in doing so. After the 3, the 4 is pretty near for easy position, you'd imagine. Yeah, how do you get, let's say, exactly to the right of the green ball? That's where she wants to be. She can also leave it at a bit more of an angle, which is probably what she'll do. So stun it in between the green and the pink. Following through, looks like a high tip position. Well, she's got a shot on the 3 in the top right. Don't know if she's able to. I think she should be able to dig into the cue ball and get a shot on the. Is the 4 ball? Is that close to the 9 ball, right? The 5 ball is on the north side of the table, I believe so. Yeah, good safety. And bar the 3 ball being close to the rail, which makes it easier to hit. Position behind the 6 is pretty deadly. Actually, it's pretty good because the 1 rail kick off of this bottom short rail is hampered by, or made impossible almost, by the 4-9 positioning. And this is difficult to determine cue ball reaction. You might have to play this with a bit of backspin to straighten out the cue ball. Yeah, I mean, I think Bojana, to be honest, from what I've seen from her, would do well if she'd play or focus a lot more on the tactical side. Kicking, breaking, safeties, you know, the smaller shots, the nifty shots, being smart about the game. I think running out, a lot of players these days are pretty adept at that. I would advise many a player to play 8 ball. That's what I started to play with. You know, thinking of the smartest pattern, looking at the various ways of that you're able to run out the game, but choosing the one that requires the least of your talents, or the least cue ball movement, let's say, often. So 8 ball a good place to start, even though a lot of people these days often start with the rotation game, start by playing 9 ball. I think 8 ball is a good school for a young aspiring pool player, or an old aspiring pool player, a starting pool player, let's say. So here the 4 ball does have room in this pocket closest to us. I mean, the 8 is blocking about a quarter of that pocket. tell you a little bit about who the other women are in this quarterfinal situation. Ina Kaplan is playing Christina Grimm for a place in the final four ladies as Pia Filler overruns her cue ball. And now the 4-9 combination, as it was in the first rack, is not on. Safety's not easy either. She can cut it in the left side pocket. Can she cut it in and try the 9 ball? I mean, that's just a bit desperate. The safety's not easy. I don't know if she can just roll up to the 9 ball and bump the 4 into the right side rail. Either way, playing safe, then you're letting Bojana to the table, which should never have happened anyway, and that wasn't in her plans. So let's see what she does here as we look at the rest of the quarterfinal lineup. The very good player Eylül Kibaroğlu from Turkey is playing Ana Gradiznik, winner of the Eurotour that was played before this. Ana Gradiznik, very nifty player from Slovenia. So they're in battle on one of the other tables. And then we have Monika Zabek is playing Tina Vogelman. So those are the three other quarterfinals, and then the one you're currently looking at. We'd also like to know where you're watching this match from. These days, with the possibilities of the internet, it's just amazing that we can reach, yes, you down under in Australia, or you in one of the beautiful American states, as Pia Filler just reaches the rail. That makes it a pretty good safety. Should hit this ball. Well, she's looking at the top short rail. I mean, she should really hit it off this bottom short rail. But then both balls will be traveling towards the center or north side of the table. And how do you get distance between the two or a snooker? Ooh, Bojana, that's too easy. She has 3 fouls as well. I didn't even clock that. 5-1 to Pia Filler. So will this be a one-sided win for Pia Filler, or will we see Bojana make a fight back? To be honest, the level that Bojana has shown, breaking-wise, potting-wise, safety-wise, kicking-wise, has been fairly low. So to be honest, she can almost only improve if she gets a chance to. That is. So 1 ball made by Pia Filler, and you might be wondering, why is she leaving the table? We're playing the 3-point rule here. You need to make 3 points on the break, which can either be achieved 1 point for every ball you make and 1 point for every ball that passes the line where you're breaking from. And she only made the 1 ball and perhaps, nice shot on the 2. She only made the 1 ball and perhaps had 1 ball cross the breaking line, and therefore only made 2 out of 3 points, giving table control to Bojana. So Bojana going to cut this. But you know, to be honest, no matter how full you snooker Pia here, she's always going to hit it, as you can see. And she can get very creative here. She can kick the right rail with a lot of left spin. Hit the 3 ball full in the face. Try to stop your cue ball there. It might even twist itself behind the green 6. She might give a shot away, but even though the snooker's achieved, yeah, there you go. You know, it's all in the realm of possibilities if you let someone to the table with a kick shot that is a foregone conclusion, and then you're just kind of hoping for something bad not to happen. All right, Pia faced with a pretty testing 4 ball here, and needs to, of course, roll to the right side of the table to not snooker herself behind the 8-9. So just looking at the 4 ball angle and visualizing the path she wants the 4 ball to take. So it needs to pass at least to the right side of the table. I think her cue ball will travel somewhere towards the breaking line. Oh, didn't even go for it. So, I mean, you know, it's a constant. You have to be relentlessly positive as a pool player and have the memory of a goldfish, kind of, to forget about your mistakes and just apply yourself in a very positive manner. And Bojana should be really happy, really, that she's not facing the full force of Pia Filler's pool game. Although she's 5-1 behind, but she does have a lot of chances at the table. Nice pot. And as I said, she can only really improve. And that will do just fine. Might be awkward bridging. I think she can cue besides the 8 ball and should be able to hit her cue ball in the center line to make it and cross straight over to the left side of the table. So Pia asking the referee to come. Just make sure she doesn't touch that 8 ball. All ball fouls here. Ooh, trickled in. All right. So is either rolling this in dead weight to leave herself straight in on the 8 ball to the right side pocket. She might have to apply a bit of right spin. And cannot be the most confident of players at this moment, so a bit of a tester still. A delicate shot. The 8 ball, of course, doesn't go in the right side pocket. Ooh, then she has to roll this in really softly to shoot the 8 in the top right. What do you think? Is she going to play the 8-9 carom? She can't really try both at the same time. If she tries to make the 8 in the top right, she's gonna hit the 9 ball on the right side, and she needs to hit the 9 ball full in the face. So if she wants to make the 9, she has to cut the 8 ball basically as thin as she can. She's going for the 8, I think. Can still make both. Can't exactly see it. Here we go. Nice. Good pot, good speed, good control of that 9 ball. Alright, but even this one is not easy when you've seen yourself miss quite a few pots. Bojana to bring herself back to 5-2 down. Boom, here we go. Let's see what she can do. Her break had a few illegal breaks, had a foul break the last time around. Needs speed on that cue ball. Make the down 7? No. Make the 1? No. Make the 4? Yes. So wild ball made. Illegal break, since the 3, 6 and the 1 ball have all passed the breaking line area. But no pot on the 1, so can only kind of cut the 1 ball and bring the cue ball straight to the top rail and somewhere towards the yellow 9 ball, I think. That's pretty good. Hard to get a full ball snooker. Is going to have to come with something good here to be able to snooker Bojana. Hard to say. She can see only a tiny bit of the right side of that 1 ball. Pretty good result. I'd take that. Well, she's going to have to, isn't she? And these are tough shots. And she'll... Side pocket actually might be in the way of her kick shot. She's got the jump cue in hand. So she can see that. She can see the whole potting angle. That's good. Had a pretty good jump shot earlier. Remember the kick jump? Didn't clear the first and only hurdle. Well, that's good. After Bojana played pretty good safety on the one ball, Pia had a good reply. And that earned her this ball in hand. So it's all about how she gets from the 3 to the 5, which is below the 9 ball. Can kind of leave a straight in position on the 2. Because now she's probably going to have to shoot the 3 in the same pocket as the 2. Then she has to find a good position for the cue ball, almost in line with the red-green, that line kind of, for an angle on the 3 to maneuver her down table. It's like this. She can kind of only screw her cue ball over that diagonal line towards the bottom right corner pocket. But of course, there's a bottom right corner pocket somewhere along that route. And has to add the extension, which, right, here we go. So long bridge hand here, extension on the cue. Right, so she did have a little bit of an angle, and this will do just fine, really. So if you have a ball on the rail like the 5 ball is, if you have a 45-degree angle pot, which she kind of have a bit more, 45 degrees or more, after the pot your cue ball will roll straight into the rail you're closest to and then straight back out. So straight back out might bring her for position on the 6 in the right side pocket. Ooh, hit it too thick. See, the cue ball came straight down and up, but didn't hit the 5 ball thin enough. What will Bojana do? She will also notice that Pia is not playing her best game. And she might be 5-2 behind, but it's all to play for. But here, there's not a straightforward tactical move. Not really a ball to hide behind. I don't know what to do here, really. Yeah, it's going to be so hard to leave the 5 ball on the rail in an unpottable position, but this is about as good as she could have hoped for, choosing that option. So Pia again being allowed to test herself with a cut on the 5. This cut even thinner though. This being an even thinner pot than 45 degrees, the cue ball will come straight towards us, up and down the table. Good pot. Hit the 5 ball so thin actually that the cue ball rolled a little bit to the left of that straight line I was sketching. Well, tester here. Of course, in making it, she will always get a shot on the 7, so the task is clear. Make the ball. You don't need to do anything else with the cue ball. You can hardly do anything else with the cue ball. Oh, don't elevate. Is she elevating? No, this needs to be a soft roll, straight in. It seems, yeah, when you have these straight in shots, it seems always like an extra test of cueing, doesn't it? But yeah, rolling it in will leave her a tiny angle on the round 7. The 8 is an easy position, so this, a shot of this rack, could be. She might miss it and leave it safe, who knows. That is a strange option. You cannot that is, I have to talk to her about that next time I see her. You know, you cannot forego on a chance to win a rack with a straight in pot. It might be, you know, a long shot, but the pockets aren't extremely small. Anyway, that's for a tactical discussion between Pia and I. Bojana with a chance to make it back to 3-5 down. There we go. Left herself very straight on the 7, but she doesn't really need to do much. to get a pot on the 8. Probably wants to screw a cue ball back, ideally somewhere towards side pocket height. But that makes the jaws unfriendlier. She'd rather just stop that ball right there. Good shot. And maneuver the cue ball off the rail, so that's ideal. So stop shot stun. We'll either leave her cue ball there or just drift it over slightly to the left where the 8 is now. Beauty. All right. Bojana SARAC from Slovakia, making it back to only 2 games down. Remember, she was 5-1 down, raced to 7 for a place in the semifinals. Pia with the cut break, trying to make the red 3 bottom left. 1 ball in the side, made both. Oh, and the cue ball. Made 3 balls on the break and the cue ball. Made 4 out of 10 balls on the table. That's quite an achievement, isn't it? Alright, Bojana looking at the 2-9 combination. And that's also brought about because she hasn't really run out much, I think. You have to try to run out here. Shoot the 2 in the right side pocket. Stun draw the cue ball ever so slightly to the right of where the 2 is now. Still needs a bit of quality here though, because from the 5 to the 6, 6 to 7 needs a bit of an angle, and we'll have some cue ball traveling. And that already is too much angle on the 4 ball. Although now she can bring her cue ball back to the mid of the breaking line and shoot the 5 in the left side pocket. She's kind of forced to do so. I believe she wanted to shoot the 5 in the top left originally in her pattern plans. Maybe not. So tip a right spin, should drift the cue ball in between the orange and the brown. Just don't leave yourself with too much angle. And that is just good enough. Tip of a left spin to her cue ball to bring her cue ball exactly to the center point of the table. To leave herself an easy 6 and a maneuverable cue ball. As you can imagine, in making this 6 ball, her cue ball is first going to maneuver to the right, so that's far away from position on the 7. So she needs to come out of this bottom right corner 2 rails and then tempo control her cue ball so much so that it kind of stops where it is now. Anywhere thereabouts will do. Make the 6 first. Alright, cue ball travel. Beauty. That's exactly where it was, isn't it? And this is okay. Normally I'd say, you know, you'd always kind of want to have an angle. And this way you can draw it straight back. Don't draw it into the left side pocket, of course. Although she might end up with a cue ball positioned on the rail. Because you don't want to underdraw this and leave it where the cue ball is now. Because that's too much of a tester on the 9 ball. That's nice. So she's got a good technique. So even throughout this game where she's made a lot of mistakes, can still rely on her technique to perform good tempo draw shots, and that's vitally important. So this 9 will only be 1 game behind. All right, 4 racks to 5, race to 7. We're getting to the squeaky bum part of this pool matches, where it's, you know, only 2 or 3 racks to the finish line, and with both players only needing 2 or 3 racks. And here we go. Was this a legal break? Sorry if my point counting is not... I'm just looking at the balls going into the pocket, and I'm not used to having to do math while I'm looking at a pool break. But yes, she made a legal break. Does not have the right side of the 1 ball to make the 1 in the left top corner pocket. So I think we're gonna see her try to hit this one ball full on, stop the cue ball dead behind the brown 7, and send the one ball. Oh, she's adding right spin. Can she make this? No. I think the shot is to play safe stop shot, but it's hard to stop your cue ball. It's kind of hard to stop your cue ball behind the 7 because you need quite a bit of speed, and then you're kind of worried that your cue ball, your one ball, is going to travel 2 rails back into view for the one ball, for the white ball. Nice. Very good safety. And not an easy kick either. She might be able to jump this and hit the right side of the 1, because kicking 2 rails is not easy to see. You have to kind of hit the cue ball before the left side pocket. Then you're in danger of hitting the 5, but hitting the cue ball after. So the side pocket is in the way of her 2-rail kick. Severely in the way. So I think she might be jumping this to try to hit the right side of the one ball only, because the green 6 is in the way of the rest of the one ball. To kick it via any other route would be very difficult. Kicking it off the right side of the table, very hard. So very good safety here. And could she, Bojana, have just created an opportunity to level this match up at 5 racks each and race to 7? That would be quite an achievement, and it didn't take her long actually after being 5-1 down. Anyway, first things first, Pia might just kick this one ball in and run out the match, who knows. So coming 2 rails is a pretty good decision. Alright, Bojana with a nicely created opportunity to get herself very much back into the fold of this match, and also very much back into the mind of her very capable opponent, who hasn't shown her top form in this quarterfinal. This is kind of where you want to show your best stuff. Quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. Well, in any match really, isn't it? But here it's usually very much required, since your opponents are also of a high caliber. Right, so wants an angle on the pink 4, preferably to the left of straight. I mean, this will do. Now she has to hit the top rail, the left rail, and then spin her cue ball in between the brown and green. So, not easy. Needs to avoid touching the 5 ball with her shirt, so kind of has to think of multiple things here, but first things first, make that pink 4. Yeah, she's really finding her potting confidence and cue ball tempo control. Showing a few good positional shots here. Prime position to level up this game and make it a race to 2 for a place in the semi-final. Lovely. Now we can kind of leave her cue ball where it is now, or bring it back to where it is now. Always nice for us viewers, you know, final rack decider or a level game with only a 2 rack objective to win the match. So you can leave your cue ball right there. Probably wants to draw it back to the center line of the table, in between the middle pockets, to make the 8 ball a bit easier. Beauty. Alright, so if the nerves weren't already creeping into their limbs, and then they will be doing so now. Because anytime you get to the final stages of a match... Oh no, Bojana, what are you doing? Unbelievable, she really let up on her stroke and scratching her head on her way back to the chair. But at least didn't leave the pot for Pia, and playing safe, this is tough, because there's a double kiss. Why is there a double kiss? Because if she looks through the cue ball at the 8 ball, there's a pocket in her line of sight. And if she drives the 8 ball to the right side rail, and the cue ball to the bottom rail, sorry, the bottom short rail, then on their way out of the rails, the cue ball very much likely collide with each other. So it's not easy to avoid double kiss. She's looking at the kick shot. You can only avoid that by adding some spin and hitting the 8 in a specific way. Because let's say even trying to bank the 8 ball in here in the bottom left corner pocket, it's theoretically possible, but if you just hit it at its natural point and hit the cue ball center ball, there will be a double kiss. I think the safety is possible. Doesn't want to give away the pot. That was a tough leave after what was a bad miss from Bojana. Well, you really have to take this with both hands. It's pretty neat that you got a second bite at the cherry to level this rack, especially from being 5-1 down. But she should take some confidence from what she's shown before, not the last shot, but everything that came before in the last 10 minutes. Nice. We'll leave her cue ball on the rail though. Should be very possible, but this is more testing than the 8 ball she missed in the previous inning. Alright, this 9 ball to make it 5-all. Show us what you got, Bojana. She will be nervous about this one. Nice stroke. Didn't underhit that one. Very good. 5-all, race to 2 for a place in the semifinals. Love it. Here at the Eurotour in St. Johann, Austria, 2022. Presented to you by the Billiard Network. Your first protocol for world-class 9-ball. 9-ball, as I say 9-ball, that almost disappeared into the side pocket. Is that a legal break? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 ball made. No, 1 ball made, and only the 1 ball passed the breaking line. I mean, you guys can rewind it. I can't, so do rewind if you want to quickly find out if that was a legal break or not. I guess it wasn't. So Bojana back at the table with a very easy 1 ball, but wants to draw her cue ball back to where it is now, approximately center of the table for position on the blue 2. But do spot that the 3 ball is a very peculiar position. Does not pass the 8 ball into the bottom right. You could make a combination on the 3-8, but your cue ball would really need to be stuck on the right rail to make that somewhat of a doable shot. Cue ball might run into the 4, so she's not even entertaining that. Sticky safety. Very good. Still leaves that 3-8 conundrum though, even if she has ball in hand. She will have to do something special in either playing the combination afterwards. So how can Pia kick at this ball? She can kick off the bottom rail. The good thing for Bojana is that the 2-ball is way out in the middle of the table. So that makes it a smaller ball as possible to hit. If the cue ball had been near a rail, then she could either come off that rail or go around the corner, which is near, and hit it on the way back. This one, she can hit it 1 rail, she can hit it 2 rails by hitting the bottom rail nearest to us. Okay, she's going direct. Beautiful hit. Very good hit. Good tempo. Hit the ball. Got the distance after. Very good. Especially in the moment that this match is currently in. So Bojana can make this ball. The cue ball will go to the right side pocket. But you don't really want to slow roll this, so she might actually overcut this and play safe. Or bank the 2 towards here. Yeah. Nice. So Bojana coming with her best safety work. Well, in the latter part of the match. And that's pretty impressive. So she's definitely found the tempo. Her aiming is better. Her cue ball control is better. Breaking is better. Is a sign of a quality player who can start to play better when the going gets tough. And when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Is it Billy Ocean? Am I showing my age now? Many of you viewers won't know what the heck I'm talking about. It was a song by a guy. Pretty good song. So Pia, her natural route of hitting this 2-ball is there. Yeah. It's not like the red 3 is in the way of that natural route. She could even make the 4-ball in the bottom left. It's going to be hard to get distance between the 2 though without a lot of speed. Good hit. See, yeah, even if she would hit it thin or thick, it was hard to get distance between the 2-ball and the cue ball after the impact. I'd imagine we're going to see Bojana hit the 2-ball on the right side. Try to get the cue ball behind the 4-9, 6 potentially. This is more difficult, isn't it? She only has the 6-ball to hide behind. So, in hitting the 8-ball as she did just now, did that open up a view to the pocket for the 3-ball? I think it did, you know. And the 4-ball is right there, so she can leave the cue ball where the 3-ball is for position on the 4. I mean, the bank is open. Yeah, that's the route of the cue ball. I think a pretty natural route. Trying the bank, cue ball will roll in between the green 6 and the yellow 9 without a fear of scratching in the right side pocket. Is that what she's going for? No, the safety it is. Alright. So it's left a part of the 2-ball. And that 4-6-9 forms a pretty wide wall to hide behind. She can get the 2-ball somewhere near the brown 7. The cue ball should stay somewhere behind that 3-ball wall I just mentioned. What an important game. Who gets to 6 first? Okay, so it was a full ball snooker seemingly. Pretty good speed. An extremely difficult pot that you wouldn't go for or shouldn't go for. where I think she can bank the 2 past the 7 and leave the cue ball somewhere where the 2 ball is now and the 2 ball behind the 4-9. You have to be careful for the double kiss because you want to hit it thick, but you can't hit it full on. Good hit that was. I mean, even if she leaves a gap in between the 6-9, which I think she did, and she hit it very well. Yeah, that can happen. Except you hit it well, and that was in the realm of possibilities. You put the balls there, so you know sometimes if you get the full ball snooker, you take the credit. If you leave the gap like this, you also have to take the flak. So can Bojana make this 2 ball? No. I mean, that is a very dirty safety. Can she even attempt to hit this 2 rails? I think so. Needs a bit of speed, because of course needs a rail from a ball after hitting 2. Ooh, that was well off. Anyway, a miss is a miss. So does the 3 ball pass? I think it does, but the only thing is now she made the 4 ball not an automatic position after making the 3. Doesn't seem, I think if the 3 ball had seen a clear path towards the bottom right corner pocket, she would have already kind of played that position. I think it might theoretically be possible, but she has to hit the 3 ball at speed. Oh, she's now going to play position for the bank on the 3. I mean, that would be daring, and then she's better off trying to make the blue and maybe draw her cue ball or hit the 8 or something and try to get a shot on the 3 in the top right corner pocket. What would you do here, viewers? We'd like you to think along. Don't let me do all the thinking. Because I really don't know what's going to happen here, so there's no way I can predict this for you. But yeah, we'd really like you to think along with me. So that we all become better players or better pool match watchers after this. I mean, the bank is on, but she has to hit it so straight that she has a hard to maneuver cue ball, and her cue ball kind of has to come back to where it is now. I mean, you don't want to bank this and screw it back. That would be a hell of a speedy bank. But playing safe, roll the cue ball back to where it is now and cut the, I don't know. Let's see what she comes up with in this very important moment. She might get away with it. Yeah. Yeah, pretty peculiar way of treating your ball in the hand on the 2 ball. Here with the kick, this one a lot more doable than the previous one she was faced with. Had to get away with it. If you don't make it, if they hit it pretty hard, let's imagine that she's going to hit it full on, then the 2 ball has to come out of the bottom right corner pocket, bottom of the right corner, and then travel all the way up table to try to get distance. She hits it thin. Yeah, the cue ball might travel back up table. And the 3 ball might zigzag down this end. Oh, made it. Good hit. Very good hit there. Now what? Yeah, and the safety's not easy either. If you want to try to get the white ball behind the black, let's say, then you're going to kind of open up the 4 ball towards the side pocket. This match really coming to the very nervy stages of our final 3 games. Maximum. Maybe 2, maybe 3. And that's a pretty good safety. You know, you may not get the snooker. So what's Bojana going to come up with here? Cut the 4 in? I doubt it. Play the 4 towards the 7 ball. Oh, just split the 2. Did she leave anything? Can Pia see the gap? Hard to say, hard to say. No, Pia's looking at the kick again. So hitting this 4 ball or 5 ball, hard to see to be honest, will be fairly easy off the kick. She could also jump it if she can see enough of the potting angle. So just testing the waters on what the jump shot would feel like. I mean, that 8 ball is awfully close, so cue ball needs to clear that 8 ball quick time, so it really needs to leave the slate to the table and jump as high as the 8 ball or higher than the 8 ball in a very sharp trajectory. Excuse my English pronunciation. But I think that's what she's going for. Alright, so clear the 8 ball first, and then try to make the 5. Hit it, the 5, first of all. Good hit. Just a little bit too thin. Okay. So Bojana with a chance, and her first, since this match started, to take a lead. I mean, still 5 balls to go, and the 5 ball first. But this is something that hasn't happened for her yet in this match. Remember, Pia broke and ran the first rack after the lag. So Bojana has always been trailing, and by a 5-1 margin at one point. So he's going to leave the cue ball right there since it's straight in. It's hard to maneuver it. No need either because the 6 ball's there. Nice, and that will also leave a workable angle. She stuns in the 6 ball with a center ball hit. The cue ball will travel just south of the left side pocket, while coming from where the 6 ball is, will come out the same angle the rail that it goes in at without much spin, and should give her position on the 7 ball. The 8 she will have to be straight in on, because straight in on the 8 means an easy shot on the 9. But looks like she's rolling it. Needs a bit of right spin, I think, to avoid hitting the 9. Okay, so she didn't try to get to the other side of the table. This will do just fine. And making the 7. Cue ball is going to go straight into the rail that she's standing nearest to, and then kind of come towards the 8 ball, especially if she gives half a tip or a tip of right spin. This is a little bit similar though to the 8 ball that she missed 1 or 2 racks ago when she had the rack done and dusted. I think she'll be a little bit more awake to the task here. So remember that time she missed, she really just under-rolled the cue ball, understroked it. So follow through your cue ball. So this should see us have Miss Sarac in the lead for the first time in this match. Still though, there's 8 ball to go. Nice. Okay, so she will only be 1 rack away from a pretty decent win over Pia Filler, but we've all been there before, only needing 1 and all to play for still. Remember, Pia broke first. Thinking of pronouncing the. Alright, so Pia coming to the table, indicating that the 2 balls racked beneath the 1 ball, and the 2 ball should be racked at the back. Now, the reason why she's saying that is, if you're breaking from the right side where Bojana's breaking from, the ball right below the 1, so where the 2 ball was, usually also travels up table, and that's quite handy. So it kind of keeps the 1 and the 2 traveling towards the same area, and that's why the 2 balls usually racked either the back 3 or all the way at the back. So it's Pia's well awake to what the 9 ball rack usually does, and that's good to be assertive. So Bojana had a good break recently, not that time, hit it too full, no chance of making the corner ball like that. Needed to hit the 1 ball a little bit on the right side from where she's looking, but didn't give Pia the potting angle. What to do here? This is not easy. She might bank the 1 ball towards the 8-9, and the cue ball might travel behind the red 3. Otherwise, she can kind of hit the 1 ball full on and stun the cue ball behind the 3, but the 1 ball needs to not hit the orange 5 off 2 rails. That's a good shot. Should get some kind of cover. A lot of balls in between, so that gave it that possibility. And I believe the pink 4 is the covering ball. So the kick is not easy. Easiest thing would be to pass the green 6 as close as you can to its left and give the cue ball a lot of right or left spin from where she's looking. Left spin to make it spin to the right off of this bottom rail. But I'm not sure that angle is achievable, but no matter how much spin you give it. So is she jumping, kicking in this? I think so. I think it looks like a 2 rail kick, jump kick. Oh, that's pretty fancy at this stage of the match. Here we go. Very good hit. Good jump, good hit. Oh, she make the 5? No, just too soft. So Pia with a created chance. 2 all the way on the other side of the table. With only a minute angle on the 1, so hard to maneuver the cue ball. She's able to get the white ball to the center of the table and should be able to cut the 2 onto the brown 7. It still needs to hit this 1 ball fairly hard, which is where your technique gets scrutinized even more and the jaws get less friendly, as is an excellent example Pia gave us there. Not that I wanted her to draw that one ball. That was a tough shot. You know, it might look like a great opportunity, but actually the task, when looking deeper into it, is far from easy. So, the question is now, with a lot of right spin, can Bojana hit the one ball, half ball, make it, and then spin the cue ball in between the 8-9? That would bring her directly position on the 2-7 combo. Roll it, spin it. Nice, very good. All right. A bit thinner than she wanted on this cut combo. Remember what I said earlier in the match, 45-degree pot. When your object ball is on the rail or near to it, your cue ball is going to come straight into that rail it's closest to and then straight out. And straight out would mean contact with the green 6. You kind of have to decide if you want to go above it or below it. Or go into it. Very good, very good. So Bojana's actually got a chance to win this match from being 5-1 down against Pia Filler, whom only a few months later after this match would be in the third round of the European Open 9-ball Championships, Pia Filler that is, and will be facing her husband Joshua Filler in the winners round of that European Open in Fulda, Germany. So this was played in the end of June, and only the beginning of August that European Open will be played, where she will have a pretty good run, I can tell you. All right, so position on the 4, and that would almost make it a connect the dots position, meaning that if she makes the 5, she gets position on the 6. That would automatically lead her from the 6 to the 8. So this shot here, are we still going to see a hill-hill match? I mean, neither player has been able to show a high level for a very long period of time, so there could still be a sting in the tail. But Bojana with a chance here. Remember, PF jawed that one ball in this rack with her first opportunity. Okay, so now needs to decide either she leaves herself dead straight on the 6 ball to shoot the 8 in the bottom left, or maybe leave a tiny bit of an angle to shoot the 8 in the same pocket that she will shoot the green 6 in. Either way, she will get a shot to play position on the 8. So left herself an angle, so definitely the 8 into the same pocket that she'll shoot the 6 in. But yeah, it needs still a bit of tempo control, a specific tip position on the cue ball, that being center ball stun. Make the cue ball turn directly to the right after hitting the 6. Very good. Doable 8 ball, maneuverable cue ball with that 30-degree angle. So he's either going to roll it in or add a bit of draw to shoot the 9 in the same pocket as the 8. Focus needed. The nerves will be jingling. Very good. So Bojana is going to beat Pia Filler to make her way into the final 4 of the Women's Eurotour in St. Johann, Austria. Right? She's going to make this 9, isn't she? Thank you all for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this as they shake hands. Thank you all for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this.